Welcome to SENDiass4BCP's webinar on our role and service. I'll be discussing a little bit about SENDiass4BCP and our service. We'll meet the team and I'll explain their roles within the team. We'll take a look at who we can support, what we support with, how we provide that support, how to refer into our service, and information for any further support should you need it.
SENDiass stands for Special Educational Needs and Disability Information, Advice and Support Service. And by law, every local authority should have a SENDiass service available for children, young people and their families in their local area.
We are a free, impartial, confidential and arm's-length service for children and young people up to the age of 25 with special educational needs and disabilities and their parent carers living in Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole.
This means that although we are funded by the local authority, we operate separately from the services which have responsibility for making provisions for children, young people and their families.
Everything is kept confidential unless we believe someone to be at risk of harm. We provide information, advice and support with relations to education, social and healthcare matters,
including signposting to services, knowing your options and rights, as well as the responsibilities of schools, colleges and the local authority.
We provide support for things such as the EHCP process, preparing for meetings, resolving disagreements, support with exclusions and appeals to the SEND Tribunal.
Our aim is to promote independence and self-advocacy to enable children, young people and their parents and carers to engage in discussions and decisions about support and provision as fully as possible.
So 2 things I wanted to discuss a little further, which are both mentioned in our brief summary, and that is that we are both an impartial and confidential service. By remaining impartial, we're ensuring that the information, advice and support that we offer is firmly based on the law and the SEND Code of Practice. We provide unbiased information and advice about the local authority's policies and procedures and about the policy and practice in local schools and other settings. We do not give priority to any particular impairment, disability or special educational need, nor do we campaign for any particular approach to education. By being impartial, we aim to help parents, children and young people have clear, accurate and relevant information that will help them take part in decisions about their lives. Anything said to us is confidential. We would only speak with other professionals or a school or the local authority regarding a case once we had the parent, carer or young person's consent or request to do so. We will not share any information with anyone unless we have a specific concern about a person's safety. So let's meet the team. Victoria is our team's manager who oversees the service which we provide. She also provides support to parents and carers and children and young people. Rebecca is our senior officer who also supports our parents, carers, children and young people. Jill is our Child and Young Person Development Officer and Kate our Child and Young Person SENDiass Officer, who both work directly with children and young people to establish their views, feelings, preferences and ambitions. They can also work with them to find suitable options regarding educational placements and opportunities for post-16. Alexia is our Parent Champion Coordinator, a relatively new project created jointly between SENDiass4BCP and Parent Carers Together, the local parent carer forum. We'll discuss this a little more later on. Tracy and Jonathan are your first port of call when you refer to our service. Claire, Sharon, Sarah and Sally are our SENDiass officers. They all provide information, advice and support to parents, carers, children and young people who refer into our service and require support beyond our initial advice level. Our service can be accessed by both parents and carers of children with SEND, as well as children and young people with SEND in BCP. The process for this will be explained a little later on. However, we also support schools. More on that in a moment too. There are lots of things we can support parent carers, children and young people with, and this list is by all means not exhaustive. We can provide information about your options, rights and responsibilities. Advice and information about the responsibilities of schools, colleges and the local authority. Advice, information and support around the education, health and care plan process. Help with paperwork, completing forms, reading and writing letters and reports. Support in preparing for and attending meetings. Support in resolving disagreements and with complaints. Support with exclusions. And support in managing mediation and appeals to the first tier tribunal. We can also signpost to other statutory and voluntary services. As explained earlier, we can also support schools. So how do we do this? We could provide general information and support communication and relationships with parents and carers, promote effective partnership between parents and carers, schools, the local authority and other services, and we can support parents and carers, children and young people to understand policies and procedures. So it's time for some myth busting about our service. Are there any of these statements ones that you have heard or would consider to be true? SENDiass4BCP represent the parent, carer, child or young person. They can recommend suitable schools and are specialists in the needs of the children and young people they support. They can make the local authority make decisions and can overturn decisions made by a school or the local authority. These are in fact all false. We do not speak for the parents, carers and children and young people, but we do empower them to be able to take part in decisions and discussions regarding the child, supporting them to put across their views. Depending on their needs themselves, we may provide more support with this, but we remain impartial at all times. We will inform them of their rights and choices, enabling them to make an informed decision and support them in this, whilst promoting their independence, knowledge, skills and confidence. To recommend schools would impair our impartiality. We are, however, able to provide you with a list of schools available, but cannot make recommendations. We have no specific knowledge regarding each school and the support they are able to provide. No one knows the children and young people we support better than their families. Every child's needs are very individual, and whilst we endeavour to understand the needs of the children and young people in the best way we can, we are certainly not specialists. We cannot make the local authority make or overturn decisions. We can support a parent, carer, child or young person to follow the processes to have any concerns addressed or advise them of legal requirements, but we cannot force a local authority to make any decision. Any overturning of decisions would either be made by the local authority through mediation or the SEND tribunal, which are all things which we can provide support with. We provide support in various ways. We offer an advice line Monday to Thursday, 9:30 till 12:30, where people can speak with an advisor. They will be given initial advice and referred to a SENDiass officer if necessary. We can provide support at face-to-face meetings with schools, the local authority, and also tribunals if necessary, all subject to any COVID restrictions. We can provide the same support virtually also, either individually with parents, carers, and children and young people, or at meetings. We provide support by email. This can be if people refer into our service this way, or parent carers and children and young people directly liaising with their allocated officer. We have lots of resources on our website which people can freely access, as well as links to other services and organisations. We also have a team of volunteers, our parent champions, who kindly give some of their own time each month to hold sessions in schools directly with parents and carers, supporting them with a listening ear, signposting to national and local services, and increasing awareness of the BCP Send Local offer. This is a relatively new service, but appears to be very well welcomed and received by those who have accessed it already. We attend coffee mornings and support groups for parents and carers of children with SEND to provide some general advice and support. We also hold workshops on various topics such as how to make a parental request for an EHC needs assessment or how to make a parental contribution. When first contacting us, we will explain our confidentiality policy to you or provide you with a copy of it. We will ask you for your contact details so that we can open a confidential file for you. We will still give you information, advice and support, even if you don't want to tell us your details. We will be the only people who can see your SENDiass file. All files are stored in our secure database, and we will ensure that our database is password protected and that only SENDiass staff know the password. We will not tell anyone about what is in these files without your permission. Where you have given permission or have asked us to share information with someone outside of SENDiass, we will make a note on our system of the name of that person or organisation and the date you gave us that permission. We operate a self-referral process. Parents, carers and children and young people can do this either by emailing us at help@sendiass4BCP.org or contacting us on our advice line, which operates Monday to Thursday between the hours of 9:30 and 12:30. We know that sometimes parents, carers and children and young people can find it difficult to take the first step in contacting SENDiass4BCP. Therefore, we encourage professionals you know well to support you in contacting us. We may occasionally take a referral from a professional, but this would only be in exceptional circumstances. For example, if a parent carer's first language is not English, or the parent carer has additional needs themselves which present a barrier to them making contact with us independently. In any case, we would only accept a referral from a professional with the parent carer's explicit consent, which would be provided to us via email or through a phone conversation with one of our team. We have plenty of resources available on our website for you. If you struggle to find what you need or you can't answer your questions, then please do not hesitate to get in touch.